Ahrefs just made one of the biggest updates in their entire company history, and almost nobody is talking about it. They just opened up their API to every single paid plan with limits. For years, the Ahrefs API was locked behind an enterprise plan that cost thousands of dollars per month. If you weren't a giant agency or a Fortune 500 company, you couldn't touch it. Now, anyone with a light, standard, or advanced plan gets API access. This changes the entire SEO game for solo operators, small agencies, and SaaS founders who want to automate their workflows. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what the Ahrefs API can do, how to pull keyword data, backlink data, and ranking data in under 10 minutes, and how to connect it to Claude Code or Codex so the entire process runs on autopilot. I'm also going to show you why this update is the secret behind Ahrefs' new product called Agent A, and how you can essentially build your own version of Agent A using the same building blocks. This is a big one, so stick around. By the end, you'll have a complete blueprint for automating SEO research using AI agents and the Ahrefs API. Let me start with the news because most people don't realize how massive this update actually is. Ahrefs has been around for over a decade. They've built one of the largest backlink databases on the entire internet. For the longest time, that data was completely walled off from the API. Unless you were paying for their enterprise tier, we're talking $1,000 plus per month just to access the API. That meant if you were a solo SaaS founder, an indie hacker, or a small agency, you had to manually export CSVs, copy and paste data, or use clunky workarounds. The data was incredible, but you couldn't programmatically use it without dropping serious money. Earlier this year, Ahrefs flipped that script entirely. Now, every paid plan includes API access with usage limits scaled to your subscription tier. The light plan gets a basic allocation, the standard plan gets more, the advanced plan gets even more. The pricing structure means even hobbyists and side project builders can now tap into the same data that used to require a corporate budget. This is one of the most underrated SEO updates of the past 5 years. So why does this matter for you? 2 words: AI agents. Until this update, AI agents like Claude Code, Codex, and other automation tools couldn't really plug into Ahrefs in a meaningful way. You could give them exported CSV files, but that's static data. Now you can connect Claude Code or Codex directly to the Ahrefs API, and the AI can pull live data on demand. It can run keyword research while you sleep. It can analyze competitor backlinks in real time. It can monitor ranking changes and alert you the moment something shifts. This is the kind of automation that used to require a full development team. Now a solo operator with a standard Ahrefs plan and Claude Code can build it in an afternoon. Before I get into the tutorial, let me drop a quick plug for a tool I personally use that pairs perfectly with this workflow. Backlink Management.io is an automated SEO platform that does 2 things on autopilot. It builds backlinks daily and it publishes ranking content daily. Here's why I'm mentioning it now. The Ahrefs API gives you incredible data. Claude Code lets you analyze that data with AI, but neither of those tools actually executes the SEO work for you. You still need to build the backlinks. You still need to publish the content. That's where backlink management comes in. It's the execution layer that turns your data and analysis into actual rankings. I'll mention it again throughout this video because it fits naturally into multiple parts of the workflow. But know upfront that this is the tool I'm running in the background while my Claude Code agents handle the strategic side. Now let's get into what the Ahrefs API can actually do. There are 3 main categories of data you can pull, and each one unlocks a different type of automation. The first category is keyword data. You can pull search volume, keyword difficulty, click-through rates, related keywords, and SERP results for any keyword you want. This is huge because traditionally, keyword research requires you to log into the Ahrefs dashboard, type in keywords manually, filter the results, and export CSVs. With the API, you tell Claude Code, give me the top 100 long-tail keywords related to my niche with search volume between 500 and 5,000 and difficulty under 30. Claude makes the API call, pulls the data, and analyzes it for you. 5 minutes max. Try doing that manually, and you're looking at half a day of clicking around. The second category is backlink data. This is where it gets really interesting. You can pull every single backlink for any domain, including yours and your competitors. You can see the source URL, the anchor text, the domain rating, the URL rating, the type of link, when it was first detected, whether it's still live, all of it. The Ahrefs backlink database is one of the largest in the world, and now you can query it directly with code. For competitor analysis, this is a goldmine. You can run a daily script that pulls every new backlink your competitors acquire, analyzes the patterns, and tells you exactly what content or strategies are earning them links. The third category is ranking data. You can track keyword rankings for any domain across multiple search engines and locations. You can see historical position data, SERP feature appearances, and click estimates. This is incredibly powerful for 2 reasons. First, you can monitor your own rankings without paying for a separate rank tracker tool. Second, you can monitor your competitors' rankings to see what's moving, what's dropping, and where opportunities exist. So those are the three main data types: keywords, backlinks, and rankings. Now let me show you how to actually pull this data using Claude Code or Codex. Step one is getting your API key. You log into your Ahrefs account, navigate to the API section in your settings, and generate a new API token. This is what you'll use to authenticate every request you make. Make sure to save it somewhere safe because you can't view it again after you generate it. I keep mine in a password manager along with my other API credentials. Step two is installing Claude Code. Claude Code is Anthropic's command line AI agent. You install it from Anthropic's official site, and once it's running, you can interact with Claude directly from your terminal. If you prefer Codex, which is OpenAI's equivalent agent, the workflow is similar. Both tools let you give natural language instructions and have the AI execute code, make API calls, and analyze data on your behalf. Step three is the actual prompt. This is where it gets fun. Open Claude Code and type something like this. Using the Ahrefs API with my key, pull the top 50 keywords my competitor is ranking for in the United States. Filter by keyword difficulty under 40 and search volume above 1,000. Then identify the top 10 keywords I'm not currently ranking for. Output the results as a sortable table. Hit enter. Claude reads your prompt, makes the API calls to Ahrefs, pulls the data, runs the analysis, and gives you a clean output. The whole thing takes about 2 minutes. Now think about what you can do with that. You just identified 10 high-value keywords your competitor is winning that you haven't even targeted yet. You can take that list and start creating content around those exact keywords. This is where my next plug for backlink management fits naturally. You found the keyword opportunities. Now you need content published targeting those keywords, plus backlinks pointing at that content. Backlink management does both of those things automatically. You feed it the keywords, and it publishes optimized articles and builds backlinks daily without you doing any of the manual work. So the workflow becomes Claude Code plus Ahrefs API for research, backlink management for execution. Two tools doing two specialized jobs, both on autopilot. Let me show you another use case: backlink analysis at scale. The prompt looks something like this. Using the Ahrefs API, pull every backlink acquired by my top 3 competitors in the past 30 days. Group them by domain rating, anchor, text type, and link type. Identify any patterns in their link building. Flag any domains they got multiple links from in the same week. Claude pulls the data, analyzes it, and gives you a strategic breakdown. You see exactly what your competitors are doing, where they're getting links, and what's working for them. This is the kind of analysis that used to require a senior SEO analyst spending hours in the Ahrefs dashboard. Now you can run it daily, automatically, while you focus on actually growing your business. Here's where it gets even cooler. You can chain these prompts together to create full automated workflows. For example, you can have Claude Code run a script every Monday morning that pulls your competitors' new backlinks, identifies the highest quality ones, qualifies whether they're relevant to your niche, and outputs a prioritized list of link prospects for the week. If you wanted, you could even have Claude draft outreach emails for each prospect. The whole thing runs in the background while you sleep. But here's the practical reality. Cold outreach link building is hard, time-consuming, and has low conversion rates even when automated. That's why I lean on backlink management for the actual link building. It uses a different approach to acquire backlinks at scale, completely automated, without you needing to manage outreach campaigns or spreadsheets. Now let me address the connection between this API update and Ahrefs' new product called Agent A. A lot of people are asking what Agent A actually is, and once you understand the API update, the answer becomes obvious. Agent A is essentially a pre-built AI agent that uses the Ahrefs API under the hood. Ahrefs took their own API, layered Claude on top of it, built a user-friendly interface around it, and packaged it as a $99 per month product. That's the whole secret. There's no special data, no proprietary AI, no magic happening. It's the same API access that's now available to every paid plan, but with a polished interface and pre-built automations. Why does this matter? Because if you're already paying for an Ahrefs plan, you can essentially build your own version of Agent A using Claude Code or Codex. You get the same API data, you get to run your own custom prompts and workflows, and you don't have to pay an additional $99 a month. Now, to be fair, Agent A has some advantages. The interface is clean, the pre-built workflows save you time, you don't have to know any technical details. If you're not comfortable using Claude Code or Codex, paying for Agent A is a totally reasonable choice. But if you're willing to put in a little time learning Claude Code, you can build something more flexible, more customized to your business, and you keep the savings. Plus, you can connect the Ahrefs API to other AI agents, automation tools, or custom workflows that Agent A doesn't support. Let me walk you through some of the specific use cases I run with the Ahrefs API plus Claude Code. These are workflows that would normally cost thousands of dollars to set up with a developer, and now anyone can build them. Use case number 1, daily competitor monitoring. Every morning, I have a script run that pulls any new backlinks, ranking changes, or keyword movements from my top 3 competitors. Claude analyzes the data and emails me a one-page summary. I know exactly what my competitors did yesterday, every single morning, before I even start working. That information advantage is huge when you're trying to outrank specific competitors. Use case number 2, content gap analysis on autopilot. Once a week, I have Claude pull every keyword my competitors are ranking for and compare it to my own ranking keywords. It outputs a list of topics I should be creating content around, prioritized by traffic potential and difficulty. Then I feed those topics into Backlink management, which writes and publishes the actual articles for me automatically. So the entire content strategy runs without me touching it. Use case number 3, backlink opportunity scoring. I built a workflow where Claude pulls all the domains linking to my competitors, scores them by relevance and authority, and outputs a ranked list of the highest value link targets I should pursue. Then backlink management runs on top of that, handling the actual link acquisition. So strategy from Claude Code, execution from backlink management, all automated. Use case number 4, SERP monitoring for new opportunities. I have Claude monitor specific keywords in my niche and alert me when SERP features change, when new pages enter the top 10, or when competitors lose rankings. This is huge for catching opportunities the moment they appear. If a competitor's page suddenly drops from position 2 to position 8, I can capitalize on that traffic shift before anyone else notices. Use case number 5, custom reports for clients. If you're an agency, you can use Claude Code plus the Ahrefs API to generate custom client reports automatically. No more spending hours assembling data in Google Slides every month. Claude pulls the data, formats it, and outputs a client-ready report. Now let me address some practical considerations. The Ahrefs API has rate limits depending on your plan tier. The light plan has the lowest limits, the standard plan has more, and the advanced plan has the most. For most solo operators or small agencies, the standard plan limits are more than enough for daily automation workflows. If you're running heavy enterprise scale operations with hundreds of clients, you'll want the advanced plan or higher. Make sure to read the Ahrefs API documentation carefully so you understand the limits and don't accidentally burn through your monthly allocation. Claude Code is smart enough to respect rate limits if you tell it to in your prompts. Another consideration is API cost calculation. Different endpoints consume different amounts of your monthly credits. Pulling backlink data is more expensive than pulling keyword data. Pulling historical data is more expensive than pulling current data. Plan your workflows accordingly. I usually run my heaviest API calls weekly rather than daily, and I save the daily automations for lighter endpoints. Let me also talk about why the timing of this update matters. We're entering an era where AI agents are doing more and more of the work that humans used to do. Companies that build their workflows around AI agents are going to absolutely crush companies that don't. The Ahrefs API update means that every solo operator and small business now has access to the same data infrastructure that used to be reserved for enterprise teams. That's a fundamental leveling of the playing field. The agencies and businesses that win the next 2 years are the ones using AI agents plus accessible APIs to operate at enterprise scale with solo or small team headcount. This is exactly the kind of compounding advantage that backlink management is built around. The Ahrefs API gives you the strategic insights. Claude Code or Codex helps you analyze that data. Backlink management actually does the SEO work daily, building links and publishing content while you sleep. 3 layers, all running together, all on autopilot. That's the modern SEO stack for 2026 and beyond. Now let me give you a step-by-step plan for getting started this week. This is what I would do if I was setting up this workflow from scratch right now. Day 1, log into Ahrefs and generate your API key. Save it somewhere safe. Familiarize yourself with the basic API endpoints by reading the documentation. Day 2, install Claude Code from Anthropic's site. Spend an hour getting comfortable with the interface and running basic prompts. Day 3, build your first integration. Try pulling keyword data for your top 10 target keywords. Get comfortable making API calls through Claude Code. Day 4, build a competitor backlink analysis workflow. Run it once and review the output. Refine the prompt based on what you learned. Day 5, set up automated daily monitoring. Schedule a script to run every morning and email you a summary of competitor activity. Day 6 and 7, expand to other use cases, content gap analysis, ranking monitoring, link opportunity scoring. Start building your custom AI-powered SEO workflow. By the end of 1 week, you have a complete automated SEO research system running in the background. Add backlink management on top of that for the execution side, and you essentially have a full SEO team operating without any humans involved. A few quick warnings before I wrap up. First, don't burn through your API credits in the first day. Set rate limits in your scripts and respect them. Second, the data is only as good as your prompts. Garbage in, garbage out applies to AI agents too. Spend time crafting clear, specific prompts that give Claude exactly what you want. Third, Validate your outputs early on. AI agents occasionally make mistakes, especially with API integrations. Spot check your results in the Ahrefs dashboard for the first few weeks until you trust the workflow. Fourth, don't try to automate everything at once. Start with one workflow, get it running smoothly, then add the next one. Trying to build a complex system in one day usually leads to broken automations and frustration. To wrap up, here's the bottom line. Ahrefs opening up their API to all paid plans is one of the biggest SEO updates of the past 5 years. Combined with AI agents like Claude Code or Codex, this completely democratizes enterprise-level SEO automation. Solo operators can now build workflows that used to require teams of analysts. Agencies can scale their service delivery without scaling headcount. SaaS founders can run sophisticated SEO programs without hiring marketing teams. The companies that move fast on this update are going to have a massive competitive advantage over the ones that don't. Don't sleep on it. If you want to add the execution layer on top of all this, head to backlinkmanagement.io. It's the tool I personally use to handle the daily backlink building and content publishing, while my Claude Code agents handle the strategic side. The combination is honestly unbeatable for solo operators and small teams. That's my full breakdown of the Ahrefs API and how to use it with Claude Code or Codex in 2026. Drop a comment if you want me to do a deeper dive on any specific workflow. I'm thinking the competitor backlink monitoring automation deserves its own video because the strategic insights you can pull are absolutely incredible. If this video helped you understand the Ahrefs API update, smash that like button and subscribe. I'm putting out more content like this on how to leverage AI agents and APIs to grow your business without hiring a team. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.